The Tigers versus the Gators. The rivalry is like no other.
Everybody wants to win. It's so fun. The energy is always there.
It's amazing competing in the SEC. I think it's the best conference.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome inside the Exact Tech Arena at the Stephen C. O'Connell Center at the University of Florida for our live ESPN coverage of women's college gymnastics tonight. We have a huge top SEC matchup as LSU, the number 2 team in the country, visits Florida, the number 5 team. Here are the current conference standings in the SEC. How good is this conference? All 8 teams in the top 20 teams in the country. How about the matchup tonight? These 2 teams in the last 7 years have won, either one of them has won the SEC championship. They have split their last 10 regular season meetings, and they have 16 combined SEC tournament championships between them. Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Connor. I'm with Bridget Sloan. I'm happy to be here in the O-Dome with you, Bridget. This is no stranger building to you, right? You've been here. You've succeeded here. You've been a many-time All-American. So let's talk about these 2 teams that we have in this match tonight.
Well, Florida right now is a very young team. They've got a lot of freshmen, so interchanging those lineups constantly, where on the other hand, LSU, they have returned all routines from last season. Really excited about tonight.
LSU, of course, is led by one of the #1 gymnasts in the country. That is Haley Bryant. For more, let's go to Taylor Davis.
Yeah, Bart, a combination of both excellence and consistency. Haley Bryant is the #1 all-arounder in the nation with a 39.733 average. She's top 10 on every event, and her lowest score this season, a 9.85. Head coach Jay Clark refers to her as an all-timer and says, as Haley Bryant goes, so too go the Tigers.
All right, top 10 in all 4 events. It's pretty rare that an athlete is so well balanced, but Haley Bryant, one of the greatest collegiate gymnasts of all time in the competition tonight. Let's remind people how the meet format goes in a dual meet competition. 6 athletes who compete on each apparatus. Just the best 5 out of 6 scores count towards the team total. The home team gets what we call the Olympic order. That's vault, bars, beam, and floor. And the visitors do the reverse of that. They'll start on the bars and have to finish on the beam. For Florida, we're going to talk about this young team. Half the athletes on the team are underclass women, and Skylar Drazer is their leadoff competitor, a freshman.
Got a big ball here. That's a Yurchenko 1.5. It's a 10-0 start value. Really big start for the Gators. She had a little shuffle on that landing. Again, sticks are contagious, but sticks are what the judges are looking for. All those little deductions, they are gonna add up. So starting off strong, Skylar, a freshman, getting that confidence. Really nice start.
Leading off for the LSU Tigers is Alexis Jeffrey, the transfer from UCLA. She has done a terrific job in that leadoff spot for LSU, the #2 ranked team in the country.
And Alexis, so far, she's such a smooth bar swinger. Watching her in warm-ups, she was very dynamic, and she worked a lot on this dismount that she's going to gear up for. Short on that handstand. Again, judges are looking for deductions, but right here, see if she can get the stick. And she saves it. A little wonky on that landing. You want to see those athletes be really firm when they land and no movement. She kind of did a little body shift, but those feet didn't move, which is very important. You see the stick crown, well deserved, and a nice start for LSU, setting the tone for this bar rotation.
Sloan Blakely will be next up on vault for the home team. Huge crowd on hand tonight here. Every meet at the O-Dome has been sold out this year. This incredible young team. Sloan Blakely will be up now. Skylar Drazer led them off with a 9.775.
And Sloan, this is going to be the same vault that we just saw from Skylar. So Yurchenko 1.5. Wow. She had a 9.925 last week on that vault. A slight shuffle on the landing, but again, that is a 10-0 start value. Really, really massive vault for Sloane Blakely. And right here, great block off, but you see those lines. The judges want to see those athletes land in between the lines. That's a clear indication that they are going a little crooked. So staying in between the lines, very important, but Sloane Blakely, again, 9.925 last week. See what she can do this week.
This has been an event that has shown some inconsistency, particularly by the young team. As we go back to LSU now on the bars, the sophomore for the Tigers. 9.85 was Alexis Jeffrey's leadoff score.
And this is Ashley Cohen doing a very nice job. You saw that huge combination. Nice handstand, working on this dismount. It's a double layout. Can she get the stick? Oh, a tiny hop. In warm-up, she did about 15 dismounts, it seemed like, and she kept hopping forward, which shows the judges under rotation. No air there, but check out this release move. Huge over the bar. Wow, I mean, go-go gadget arms, well activated to get that combination.
She has been specializing on the bars and doing a nice job for the Tigers there. Back now to vault. 9.9 was the score for Sloane Blakely in that second vault spot. Here comes Victoria Wynn in the third spot.
Victoria, another Yurchenko, 1.5. Wow, incredible. Adrian Verde, one of the coaches for Florida, very excited. Victoria has really struggled last season with this vault, but has totally changed that mindset this season. And you can see it every weekend. And head coach Jenny Rowland in her 9th season as the head coach, 5 SEC regular season championships under her belt.
She's had a variety of superstar athletes over her 9 seasons here. They have won several SEC championships, have not yet won an NCAA title under her leadership. Perhaps it's in the works this year, but they're going to have to get past LSU. And, of course, they have people like Kaya Johnson.
Kaya, another star on this LSU team, aggressive in every handstand she does so far. This is looking beautiful. And the dismount. We haven't seen a stick from LSU on uneven bars yet, but one thing that LSU does great with is they have amplitude in every skill they do. And right here, so aggressive, this handstand. Chalk actually came off of her feet because she hit her heels together so hard, showcasing that handstand position. Incredible job for senior
Kaya Johnson over a year ago tore her Achilles, and she is back in the lineup in full force, competing consistently in the all-around. Now back to the freshmen and the young team from Florida. This is Anya Pilgrim.
Here she goes, 1.5. I wanted her to stick it. I thought she was going to. That was a huge Yurchenko 1.5. And one thing Anya does so well, she is cool, under control in everything she does, but the form throughout, a slight step to the side. That was the biggest deduction there. But those legs glued together. Wow, and just a freshman, I am so excited to see her future in the NCAA.
He's coming after 2 9.9s for Sloane Blakely and Victoria Wynn, so the score is building for the Gators in that opening rotation. Kaya Johnson got their second 9.825 in a row. Here comes Connor McLean. This could be spectacular.
Big church, right down to the low bar. That is a huge combination, very difficult. Connor McLean, a freshman, and already making a name for herself with her beautiful lines you saw right there. And the dismount, slight shuffle on that landing. I really want to see LSU hone in on those landings. But one thing that they do not have any issue with is the height on these release moves. Wow. Well above the bar, great control. And this dismount, she sees the landing, it just doesn't absorb enough. Has to take those couple steps to the side. But again, very clean bar rotation for LSU so
Already
far.
2 10s in her young career for the LSU Tigers. Here's another freshman for the Florida Gators. This is Danny Ferris coming after Anya Pilgrim. Got a 9.95.
The big one here, Yurchenko 1.5. slight scoot on the landing, but again, we're seeing so many 10-0 start values from this Florida team. Dani Ferris, again, the freshman, she had a 9-9 last week. Just gaining that confidence every single week is so crucial for this Florida team.
Top teams are doing all their vaults with 10-0 start values. We can explain that as the competition goes on. Basically, every skill has a value on vault, right? And not all of them are from a perfect 10, are they?
Absolutely not. Some are that 995.
Savannah Shane here, formerly as a Florida Gator, now a transfer to LSU, and she is superb here.
Flies, she soars, and she's aggressive. Glues her feet together.
I really thought she was going to get a 10 last week when she hit one of the cleanest routines we've ever seen, and this is good tonight.
And this dismount.
Oh!
Hop on the landing, that's not going to be a 10, but one thing that Savannah does so well, she can control no matter how high or far she is on those release moves. She always gets that control back. Head coach Jay Clark, the bar coach, in his 4th season as the LSU head coach.
They have the deepest team they ever have. There's 11 seniors and graduate students on this team. They have gone from a year where they had a very little depth to a year that they have a embarrassment of riches with these superb athletes, and this might be their best shot at their NCAA championship, which they have yet to win. 3 times they've been the runner-up at the Nationals. Florida on track for a season high here after Dani Ferris gets a 9-9. Here is Leanne Wong. She's already averaging over 9-9.
Wow, another huge vault. That was a Yurchenko half on front pike off. Very unique vault. Leanne does it so well. Check out the height, but one thing I love that Leanne does is she controls her landing so nicely. Just a slight shuffle. But right here, she sees the landing, has so much power that she has to control. Personally, I never knew what that felt like on vault to have too much power, but controlling it, Leanne does well, and head coach Jenny Rowland excited about that one.
Very happy about their first rotation. We go back now to bars. Here is Haley Bryant, the #1 all-arounder in the country.
And Haley, so far, deductions minimal, the legs glued together, handstands right where they need to be in this dismount. It's a blind change, double front with a half.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that is the stick that LSU has been looking for, and no doubt Haley Bryant delivers.
All of their scores are between 9.825 and 9.85, yet to break through to the 9.9s on bars.
The amplitude that LSU has on every skill on bars is so impressive, but this dismount, I mean, that is just perfection.
Florida, a season high on vault there. For them, a 49.6, which is over a 9.9 average. So Florida off to a terrific start here at home in front of a full house in the O-Dome. Haley Bryant's score came in. It's a 9.925 for LSU. After the break, we'll get caught up on all the season storylines of these 2 top 5 teams. Welcome back inside a packed O-Dome here in Gainesville, Florida. Florida with a season-high score on the vault, a 49.6. They have the lead over the visiting LSU Tigers in this critical SEC matchup. I'm Mark Connor along with Bridget Sloan. Let's talk about the midpoint in the season. What are these athletes experiencing at this point?
A lot of wear and tear. There's going to be a lot of tape on those ankles, a lot of ice bags. Maintenance is key right now in keeping these athletes healthy.
All right, let's get caught up on how we got here. LSU, 3 times this year, they've been over 198 at home. But they returned all routines last year from last year's 4th place championship team. They have the highest team score in the NCAA this season with a 198.475. They've had 1 SEC loss, and that was to Missouri on an off night for the Tigers. What about the Gators?
Well, right now, the notable losses from 2023, that 2nd place team being Trinity Thomas and Kayla DiCello, making a run at that Olympics, but they improved their team score every single week so far in this 2024 season, and they have 1 SEC loss, which came to Alabama here at the O-Dome.
All right, for more on the season storylines, let's go to Taylor Davis.
Yeah, guys, speaking with athletes from both teams this week, they all said this season has challenged them in different ways. For Florida, it's been a bit more strategic with such a young team. Coach Rowland challenging them just 1% better every week. But for LSU, it's been about creating energy that is not determined by their environment. They know tonight provides them a big opportunity to do that. An all-important top 5 matchup here in the O-Dome, a notably competitive environment. And it's an environment that is very familiar to Savannah Shane-Harris. She caught up with me this week about what this experience could be like for her in her return. Coming up next.
Well, Savannah, you return to the O-Dome this week for competition, but this time as an LSU Tiger. What do you anticipate that experience will be like for you?
It's definitely going to be a very weird experience competing in the O-Dome, not as a Gator, but I'm honestly looking forward to it. I'm super excited to go out there with my team and absolutely crush it.
There's so much parity in this conference, and all of these teams are so good right now. Just about anyone could win on any night. And these days, of course, with the changing dynamics of college programs and athletes entering the transfer portal, there's a lot of dynamics that change almost year to year, don't they?
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the NCAA ranks. LSU in the top 10 in every event. Florida near the top as well. KJ Johnson will be the leader for LSU in this second rotation.
And KJ opens with one of the best Yurchenko fulls in the NCAA. Bart, we talked earlier about those 10-0 start values. Well, that right there, that Yurchenko full is a 995 start value that KJ does so well.
You talked about the word amplitude, which is sort of a unique term to gymnastics. It basically means bigness. And we were talking to Jay Clark this week, and he said, my team does big gymnastics, and I hope people can really appreciate that.
Absolutely. They don't hold back. That's the beauty of LSU with everything they do. They just don't hold back, and it shows.
Wait till you see the rest of their vaulters in that lineup. Sloan Blakely in the leadoff spot now for the Gators.
And Sloan really doing a nice job coming into this leadoff position. She's very familiar with it. Loves to set this team up. In the dismount, she's going to do a double front here. It's a blind landing. And gets the stick. That is a huge start for Florida on this uneven bar rotation. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Last week, Sloan had a 9.875, and this transition up to the high bar, right back down to the low bar. But this dismount, this is a double front blind landing that she just sticks it.
I gotta believe people find that confusing. It's not blind. I mean, she knows her eyes are open, right?
You would hope so.
But she doesn't really see the floor until her feet on it. That's why we call it a blind.
Exactly.
Back now to the vault. Aaliyah Finnegan after KJ Johnson at a 9.825.
And that was a Yurchenko 1.5 for Aaliyah Finnegan. Big hop forward. But at this point in the season, we should be seeing a little bit more of the sticks on vault, on bars. But if you are going to take a hop, definitely showing the judges that you have too much amplitude is the way to do it. Aaliyah Finnegan capable of sticking that vault. Outstanding performer for LSU.
Victoria Wynn will be up for Florida on the bar. Sloan Blakely, a 9.875 for that leadoff effort.
And Victoria is a very smooth bar swinger, really just glides through everything. Pushes on that handstand half pirouette, little break right there. And short on that cast handstand, just rushing the end of this bar routine here, but the double layout. Hop on the landing, not the bar routine that Victoria wanted, but very clean overall.
Sunday afternoon, there's a big women's basketball matchup with Elizabeth Kitely and number 8 Virginia hosting North Carolina at 2 Eastern on the ACC Network. College Game Day crew tips off our coverage from Blacksburg at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Amari Drayton, talk about a freshman who really got off to a huge start. A big debut for this young lady who can fly.
Big vault here.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that was a Yurchenko 1.5, 10-0 start value, and that was, I don't want to jinx it, because normally I'm wrong when I call the perfect tens, but that, I didn't see deductions there. I'm not a judge, of course, but no.
Oh, that was really clean. My
no
goodness.
Movement of her feet. You see she flares those arms out to stop that rotation, does exactly what she does in practice. That was beautiful.
LSU known for their big vaults, finally getting a good stick there from the freshman Amari Drayton. Back now to the freshman on the bars for Florida, Gabby Dizador.
Short on that cast handstand, had to do another one.
Ooh.
But gets this routine back on track. And a beautiful Shaposh half, also known as a Van Leeuwen. And this dismount, she stuck it in warm-ups. Ooh. Just a shuffle on the landing. Again, we talk about, she did that cast handstand and she missed her feet. Really can be challenging to get that momentum back and get that mental toughness back, and she did a really great job. She is a freshman. Gaining that confidence is key for her.
6 times she's been in the lineup on bars. 9.925 is her season high. Let's go down to Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, at the end of the first rotation, Jay Clark gathered his team together and said, hey, you don't take anything from that. We start over every rotation, create energy and momentum. Savannah Shane here doing just that.
Nice landing for Shane here, coming after Amari Drayton had a 9.975.
Really nice for Savannah. Had a little mess up in the warm-ups, got lost on that vault, but not in the competition. Just shows how strong of a veteran and a leader she is for this vault lineup.
We mentioned that 9.975 for Drayton. That means 2 judges. They averaged the score of the 2 judges. One judge gave her a 10, and the other a 9.95, therefore the average. Ellie Lazari, the senior, one of the few seniors for Florida, coming after Gabby Dizador had a 9.8.
And Ellie's gonna start Tkachev. Nice turnover there. You saw she was right on top of the bar. Down to the low bar. Beautiful pass.
Very high.
Floats through the air.
Oh,
can't get
another
over.
short
That's
handstand.
it. Handstand half pirouette she tried to do. Didn't get her body over the bar. Again, get that mentality back. She's got the rest of the routine here. Double. And sticks the dismount. Not the bar routine that Ellie wanted to see. That handstand. And you see, has a beautiful pack, just floats to the bar. But right here, she wants those feet to be over the bar for that half pirouette. Is gonna be a deduction, not a huge deduction, did not come off of the event. That is key. She kept it going, but a break. That is one of those breaks that we talk about.
Kaya Johnson will be on the vault now. Savannah Shane here, a 9.875. These are the 2 big hammers coming up for LSU on the vault with Johnson and Bryant. Oh!
Wow!
Wow!
That was a Yurchenko double twist, and Bart, last week, she stunned everybody by doing a Yurchenko full. Kaya is full of tricks. She has so much capability, but that vault is the hardest vault in NCAA right now. Just huge amplitude. Wow, look at the height.
We're talking her head is 6 feet over a 4-foot table. So her head is over 10 feet in the air, and she sticks it cold, therefore earning the stick crown from her teammates, and probably a great score. Anya Pilgrim now for Florida on the bars after Lazari's 9.8. So no 9.9s yet for Florida. Remember, they had the lead by .325 coming into this second rotation.
And this is a big moment for Anya.
Oh!
And a step on that landing. Again, Bart, you mentioned Florida right now has not broken into any 9.9s yet. Looking to drop that 9.775.
We expect this meet to be extremely close. These 2 teams evenly matched up, and Kaya Johnson a 9.95 for that Yurchenko double full. Here comes Haley Bryant. This is a completely different style of vaulting. This handspring pike front with a half, and I don't think there's anybody in the world who actually does it better.
I definitely do not think there's anybody, but watch this height. Wow. That is so impressive because she does it like that every single weekend. I mean, she is a machine, but just the height, the execution, the slightest shuffle on that landing. There is no one that does that vault like Haley Bryant.
An iconic career for her as a senior at LSU. Last year, hit every single routine, 64 for 64, and averaged over 9.9 plus in every event. Few NCAA athletes have ever been able to do that. Leanne Wong will go now after Anya Pilgrim had a 9.8. So one more time, Florida has the high score. Sloan Blakely's 9.875 in the leadoff spot, but no 9.9s, but we could see one here from Leanne Wong.
Leanne, beautiful bar swinger, legs glued together in that transition. Right up back to the high bar. Leanne capable of a big score here. Just a dismount.
Oh!
And that is what Florida needed. We have not seen a 9.9 yet, but I have no doubt that we will be seeing a 9.9 with that routine or better.
She needs a 9.975 to give Florida the lead after the second rotation. She scored 7 perfect 10s, including 4 of them on the uneven bars in her career.
The way that Leanne does her transitions, high to low to high, just makes it look so effortless. And this dismount finds the landing. Not only does she find the landing, but she holds it, soaks it all up, showing those judges, hey, there was no movement here.
The folks in the O-Dome want to see a perfect 10, but the judges don't buy it. And it's a 9.95 for Leanne Wong. Let's go down to Taylor Davis.
Thank you, Bart. Coach, a couple big vaults for you there in that rotation. What kind of response have you seen from your team?
Well, they responded well. We told them we can't let scores and things like that affect us. We got to stick to our mantra, which is start fast and finish strong, and that's what we want to do all 4 events. And you know, I thought both teams, Brad, got a little bit hammered on bars a little bit. So, you know, those things level out if things are being done correctly. But I thought our kids responded, didn't let it be a distraction.
On to the next. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
And guess what, folks? These two teams are tied at the halfway point. Now, mental health has become a major point of emphasis in college athletics. When we come back, we'll hear from gymnasts around the conference about how they're taking care of their mental health.
I make sure I do things that fill my tank, and I take time to pour into myself, whether that's go on a walk, read a book, listen to music.
So for me, it's always taking care of myself outside of the gym. So whether that be taking an Epsom salt bath or meditating or journaling.
Getting off of social media is the first thing that I do whenever I feel like my mental health is taking a decline.
Something that I've started really recently this last year in my comeback has been journaling. It's been really cool to just get my thoughts down on paper.
I like to journal. So I have my little journal that has a section that says what one good thing that happened today, one bad thing that happened today, what I'm thankful for, and my thoughts. So it's just a good way to reflect on the day and just keeping things in perspective.
What a night here we have at the O-Dome, with 2 teams tied, and there's such a critical battle going on tonight, and a lot of impressive young women competing at the highest levels. I'm Bart Connor along with Bridget Sloan. Now, Bridget, you know, we talk about the key elements of mental health. What does it really mean to these athletes going forward?
It is so important and crucial for these athletes to have that safe space. And what I love to see is the prioritizing of mental health. It is so important for that student athlete, for athletes everywhere, to be able to prioritize that, and you see it in the performance.
And it's even tougher for some athletes who are preparing for the Olympics as well. We have several athletes here. In fact, Aaliyah Finnegan at LSU is already qualified for the 2024 Olympics with her mother's home country of the Philippines. And Leanne Wong was a reserve athlete for the last Olympics and seeking another spot for the Paris Games as well. We wish them both good luck. There's one person who's missing tonight from the O-Dome that we're used to seeing here. That is Trinity Thomas. She's a Florida student assistant coach and, of course, one of the greatest college gymnasts of all time. She's up in Louisville this weekend, giving her shot at making the U.S. team for the 2024 Olympics. We wish her all the best in her bid to make that team. All right, these two teams are tied. How about that? Florida's going to the balance beam where they're the second-ranked team in the country, and LSU, you talk about big gymnastics, they're going to impress us on the floor. Don't go away. Let's take a look at the meet summary at the halfway point. Those two teams are tied. That's hard to say. Two teams are tied. And you and I both expected a great competition tonight, and we have one on hand here in the O-Dome. LSU had a season high on vault, and Florida did as well, and that has these two teams locked. Florida in the third rotation moves to beam. Skylar Drazer will be their leadoff competitor.
And Bart, we talk about the freshmen in being in the lineup in general, but this is a huge moment. Not only is Skylar Drazer the freshman, but she is in a leadoff position on one of the hardest events in gymnastics, and that is the balance beam. She is just a cool, calm competitor. Head coach Jenny Rowland said, I just love her. I know what I'm gonna get when she goes up on that balance beam. Starts things off, handspring layout step out.
It's quite rare that a freshman is in the leadoff spot for any team on beam.
Required full turn there, just so solid. Finds those landings. She is setting the tone for this beam lineup. Just a hop on that landing, but again, up on balance beam, you have to be it's a calm event, but it's tricky because you have to be dynamic too.
Go down to the floor with Taylor Davis.
Bridget, you mentioned these Florida freshmen. Well, Connor McLean is another freshman acclimating very quickly to collegiate gymnastics. I was watching her during warm-ups before this meet. The coaches would give her a piece of input and adjustment. The very next rep, she would fix it. The coaches rave about this young athlete, saying she makes the same response whether she's having the time of her life or she's disappointed, but we know that she's adjusting very well, and when it all clicks, she could take over the sport.
Huge expectations for this young lady going forward, and in many ways, you look at the heir apparent to someone like Haley Bryant, because she's a very balanced athlete, only competing in 3 of events in the competition tonight, but big expectations for her based on she has everything that a gymnast needs.
She does, and one thing that I love about Connor McLean is just the dynamic. She's just so dynamic with everything, but she brings that elite experience into this NCAA competition, has so much fun, and once it clicks, man, she is going to be a rock star.
First 2 competitors for LSU in this lineup are both freshmen. Connor McLean will be followed by Amari Drayton.
Right here, round off 1.5 to front full. Very nice control on that landing. And an excellent start for LSU. And Connor doing a great job. This first pass, this is a double layout. Huge amplitude off the floor, finds the landing, has a little too much power there. Saw that heel come up, but this second pass, final 1.5 to front full. Very nice start for LSU on floor.
Talk about the bigness of their gymnastics. We'll see huge tumbling from LSU Tigers here in this competition tonight. Of course, one of LSU's goals is to break into that 198 score range away from home. And right now, I saw Jay Clark. He wasn't exactly thrilled with the scores he's getting, so a little smirk on his face. But we go back to Florida as Skylar Drazer, a 9.85, got them set, and Sloan Blakely up now.
Very nice combination for Sloan. And when we talked to Jenny earlier this week, she mentioned that it takes a little bit of time in a balance check right there on that full turn, but it takes a little bit of time for Sloan to really get confident and under control in this NCAA season. She is amazing in the gym, but getting it in the competition, just a slight bobble and break on that full turn and a slight shuffle on the dismount.
Saturday on ESPN and the 9-9, the leadoff score for Connor McLean in that critical spot. Here comes Amari Drayton, another freshman. Once again, huge gymnastics.
Opens with, that was a massive double layout in Amari. Head coach Jay Clark said she is one of the sweetest, most compliant athletes, always doing whatever she needs to do. In this second spot, coming after Connor McLean, that is a huge opening with that 9-9. Front through to double tuck. Wow.
Most all the routines at these top teams start from a 10-0 start value. 9-4 is the base score if you do the requirements. And then, of course, extra combinations or difficult skills help them earn a 10-0 start value. But as I mentioned, LSU is known for big difficulty and big high-flying skills. That's just their brand, isn't it?
It has been their brand for a long time. And right now, they are just executing at a level that I've never seen before from this team. Every team is new. Every year is a new challenge, but head coach Jay Clark has said this team has the talent, the drive, and they want it.
LSU was 4th in the nation last year, went through a lot of adversity throughout the season, but this year the team is stacked, and this is perhaps one of their best shots at not only winning another conference title, but a real shot at the national championship. I think you and I have them, making that championship session, don't we?
We do, we do. We might have done a little pre-mock-up draft of who we might think will be in there.
Anya Pilgrim, you see her average there. She's 4th in the conference on beam. Once again, a freshman who got off to an incredible start. First meet, highest all-around score in program history for a freshman earlier this season.
Beautiful acro series. One thing about Anya is she's gonna get up there and do the same thing every time. She is so consistent. Now push up into front aerial, just so calm. Balance beam, 4 inches wide. Nice leap combination, switch leap to split leap. And gainer full off the side, gets the stick. Outstanding performance. That was freshman Anya Pilgrim. In this acro series right here, handspring layout step out, just so smooth right over the top of the beam. Finishes, this is a back handspring into a gainer full off the side, finds that landing, gets those feet and those heels together. Wow.
Jenny Rowland pleased with a young lady who comes from Maryland, although she competed at the World Gymnastics Championships this last fall for her home country of Barbados. KJ Johnson now.
KJ, huge pull in there.
LSU with their big high-flying gymnastics already has some terrific scores. Remember, these teams were tied coming into this rotation. LSU already has a 9-9 for McLean and a 9.925 for Drayton.
LSU off to a strong start. And KJ 1.5 to lay out. You know, and I talked to Courtney McCole Griffith, the assistant coach, one of the assistants for LSU. I asked her, what do you want to see from this floor lineup? And she said, I want to see them attack. I want to see them attack their gymnastics. And so far, they are doing just that. Final pass, double tuck. Outstanding job, KJ. She's got the amplitude, but one thing she does even better is finds her landings. Coming after Amari's 9.925. This, Bart, we've got a competition here. I mean, this is an outstanding floor lineup for LSU. And check out this opening pass. It's a tuck full in. Opens, does not grab her legs, very difficult to do. And then finishes with a nice double tuck. That's 2 flips, finds the landing. Nice job by KJ Johnson.
You might have heard the cheers in the background while that floor routine was going on for KJ Johnson. That's because the score came in for Anya Pilgrim at Florida. It was a 9.975, meaning one of the 2 judges gave her a perfect 10. So this might be the night that Florida breaks through to that magical 198 score. They've just been under it this year. They've been improving week by week, and their goal is to finally break into the 198s, which is really, for those who don't see a lot of gymnastics, 198 is a championship level team.
Absolutely.
Oh!
And this is Ellie Lazari on balance beam. Was so good up to that moment, that balance break.
And this is usually a rock-solid event for her.
You know, Jenny mentioned to us that they had a conversation. She had a 9.975 earlier in the season, and she was just trying to be so perfect and not do her gymnastics. Finishes that routine very nicely. But that was a really big balance break for Ellie in this Florida team lineup.
She has been so close to that 10, perhaps almost wishing for it too much. Next up floor, going to be Aaliyah Finnegan, and what a highlight she delivered last week at home. Her 5th career perfect 10 in another winning effort in front of a sold-out crowd at the PMAC in Baton Rouge. 5 10s in her career, 3 of them on floor, 1 on the vault and 1 on beam. She's coming after KJ Johnson, had a 9.95, so no score for LSU so far is below a 9.9. They're also looking for a big score. Their first 198 away. They've had 3 198 scores at home, which of course is a 9.9 average. They're on track for a great performance tonight. Oh.
And Aaliyah opens up. That was a double Arabian into a stag jump. She had a perfect 10 last week. She is such a performer. Really takes it to the next level with her leaps, her jumps. You saw right there, that full extension. She is so fun to watch. I mean, this is an absolute treat. And coming after KJ's 9.95, 2.5 punch front.
Oh, again, another great landing.
Wow. Just an absolute star performer for this LSU team, and floor being just incredible to watch. In this first pass, this is a double Arabian into a stag jump. And just the execution, the toe point, the extension in those legs and those leaps. Outstanding in this pass, 2.5 punch front. Bart, I don't want to call it because I really am 0 for 1, but that was outstanding.
Victoria Wynn now coming after Ellie Lazari had just a 9.725. How about that? The score is in for Aaliyah Finnegan. Second 10 in a row on floor. And this one not at home, but in fact away, while Victoria Wynn is executing a beautiful beam routine for Florida at the same time.
Victoria is always so determined on balance beam. She's got the face of determination. She's elegant. She's calm.
Win in the all-around for Florida tonight. 4 gymnasts for the Florida Gators are competing in the all-around. Wynn, Blakely, Pilgrim, and Wong.
And this dismount sticks. That was a back handspring into a 1.5. Very nicely done for Victoria. She has one of the hardest series, one of the most unique acro series in NCAA that she does nearly perfect almost every single time. And take a look, this is an Anodi, the handsprings with a half, a little off there. You saw that shoulder dip just a little bit, but she kept her arms moving, showing that connection. Just so strong on balance beam.
Talk about spectacular scores for LSU. They're coming down to their final 2 hammers. And Aaliyah Finnegan already has a 10. This is Haley Bryant. We've seen her perfect here as well.
Opens up with a front handspring into a double front.
There's 13 10s in her career. The only gymnast from LSU to ever complete what we call the Gym Slam, which is a perfect 10 on all 4 events. Only the 14th athlete in the history of the NCAA to earn that Gym Slam.
And Haley Bryant, she's coming after Aaliyah Finnegan's perfect 10, setting her up for a big score here in this final pass. Front layout into front 1.5 twist. Bart, I'm not seeing the deductions.
Wow.
The amplitude that we talked about on uneven bars, they take it to every single event. They are not afraid to do that big gymnastics like we talked about earlier. And Haley Bryant, that was outstanding.
You know what's impressive to me? It's as big here as it is at home in front of 13,000 raving fans. This is amazing.
I mean, that was a front handspring into that double front. And then right here, front layout, this is a Rudy. It's a front 1.5 twist and just finds the landing. She is so good at finding the landing, no matter what that height looks like. That is experience talking right there.
Leanne Wong now in the anchor spot after Victoria Wynn had a 9.95. Now here is a reminder about the dual meet format. You see the low score of there of 1.9725 for Lazari. So that's the score they hope to replace with whatever Leanne Wong will get here, because you count just the best 5 out of 6 scores towards the team total, and this battle is extremely close.
And Leanne, one thing she does so well is she knows how to compete under any sort of pressure. Has competed internationally, is still competing internationally while in the NCAA. Nice front aerial to beat jump there.
It's amazing. She's a college student. She runs a small business. She is competing for her team, and she's also training for the Olympics in Paris.
That is a lot, Bart. And she does it well.
Oh,
and
wow.
Round off, double twist, gets the stick.
A huge clutch performance for Florida there, because they're replacing that 9.725. There's over 9,000 fans here who would love to see a 10 tonight from Leanne Wong.
Leanne, so aggressive, you saw right there. In this dismount, it's a round off double twist. So 2 twist, gets the landing, no movement of those feet. That was a beautiful job coming after Victoria wins 9.95.
Okay, so the score in for Haley Bryant for LSU was a 9.95. So no score below 9.9 for LSU. And here comes Kaya Johnson in the anchor spot. This could be huge.
Bart Kaya's going to open with a tuck full in. Absolutely gorgeous. The height, the rotation. Courtney McCool-Griffith, she wanted her athletes to attack, but also have fun. Kaya Johnson doing just that.
You hear the booing in the background. That's because the score came in for Leanne Wong. While Kaya Johnson is competing here, there was a 10 and a 9.95, so her average is 9.975. Over 9,000 fans were hoping they'd see a 10 tonight for Leanne Wong, who herself has earned 7 of them in her career.
Last pass for Kaya. Round up back handspring double pike.
Oh!
Wow!
That was great.
Sticks it cold. Outstanding job.
And she stays a little extra long in that stuck landing, just to remind the judges, by the way, have you noticed my feet haven't moved? Oh, that's great.
Incredible. And there is no deduction when that athlete gets to the lunge.
Right.
Just because you get to the lunge does not mean that is not considered a stick. But that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that was stuck cold. No movement there.
The young lady coming back from an Achilles tear last year, and yet she still just tumbles sky high.
I think she actually is even better than before. So confident in that pass right there. Just sticks it cold. Wow.
So when we get her score, we will know where these two teams stand after 3 of 4 rotations. We have a great battle here in this conference tonight with 2 of the best teams. Taylor Davis is with Florida's head coach, Jenny Rowland.
Thank you so much, Bart. Season high on beam, Jenny. How did they handle that environment?
Pressure is a privilege, and these athletes, this is an amazing environment against an awesome team that these athletes have the opportunity and ability to rise to the occasion, and I'm extremely proud of them tonight.
One more, let's go.
One more, let's go. Go Gators.
Oh, what a great meet we have here tonight, and another season high score for the Gators. It is a party here. Don't back down, as Tom Petty says. We're coming back for the 4th and final rotation in a couple of minutes. Don't go away.
We're on tonight, under spotlights, just might take flight. We shine like stars.
All 8 SEC teams are in action next weekend across the ESPN networks. Don't miss any of these crucial meets, starting with Alabama LSU next Friday at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. All right, as we get set for the 4th and final rotation, these two teams separated by just 15 1/100ths of a point. The visiting LSU Tigers have the lead. They have to go to beam in the final rotation, and Florida will be on the floor. Quick update on the road to national standings. At this point, we are just past the midway point in the season. As you can see, Oklahoma has been leading so far wire to wire. LSU currently in 2nd, Florida in 5th. But a lot of parity in college gymnastics. Take a look at the postseason calendar for our ESPN networks. On March 23rd, we'll have the ACC, Big 12, and SEC championships all on that busy weekend. And then 2 weeks later, it'll be the NCAA regionals. 36 teams qualify to 4 different regionals around the country. We'll cover all of those. And then there will be 2 days of NCAA championship competition on both ESPN and ABC, April 18 to 20. Now, after we're finished here, you can catch number 6 Kentucky and number 16 Arkansas at 8:30 Eastern over on the SEC network. Of course, that means people like Frankie Price, who's having a party over there with the Arkansas Razorbacks, and of course Raina Worley, who finally got her first perfect 10 this year in college gymnastics. As we continue to highlight mental health awareness in gymnastics, let's hear more from former Olympian Aly Raisman on how she prioritizes her mental health.
Hey everyone, I'm Aly Raisman, and some of the ways I take care of my mental health are I see a therapist every single week, which has been very helpful and crucial for me in my mental health journey. I also journal a lot, and then I also love gardening. It's a really nice time for me to be really present. It is my calm place.
The SEC on ESPN. We are set here at the O-Dome for the fourth and final rotation. These two teams separated by just 15 1/100ths of a point coming into this final round of competition. In this case, Florida will be on the floor and LSU will be on the beam. And for more, let's go down to Taylor Davis about Sierra Ballard.
Yeah, Bart, this beam rotation was in flux to start the season. Around week 4, Jay Clark put Sierra Ballard as the leadoff and hasn't looked back since. She told me this week she takes a lot of pride in being in this leadoff position. She said it gives her the opportunity to set the pace for her teammates and then join them in cheering on for the rest of the team. She is the energy. She is the spark plug for this team. And Jay Clark said in this sport, the big name all-arounders get a lot of the attention, rightfully so, but there's a lot of unsung heroes, people like Sierra, that the team depends on.
Thank you, Taylor. Critical moment for LSU because that's the lineup. Those are the 6 athletes that will compete tonight. And it's tough on the visiting team to finish on the beam, but they have a slight lead. But expect Florida to be outstanding on the floor.
And Sierra's starting off. Handspring layout, step out. You saw those arms get back to her side quickly, holding that finish.
How many times have you been in this situation, Bridget, where
Too many, Bart.
you need
Too
a clutch?
many.
What was your mindset like at that moment?
You can't make it bigger than it has to be. It's just another beam routine. No matter what stage you're on, at the end of the day, it's just gymnastics. And Sierra, one thing that I love about her in this leadoff position is she has the right mentality. No matter what has happened before, previous events, she knows that her job is to get up on this balance beam and set the tone for her entire team, and she does an amazing job. She attacks her gymnastics on one of the toughest events in gymnastics, and that is why Jay trusts her. Her whole team trusts her. And right now, all she needs to do is nail this dismount. 1.5.
Ooh.
Little over, a little too much juice. Had to take a big step there, but overall, very nice, clean routine for Sierra, and especially leading off for this Tiger team on that beam.
What you need most importantly is a hit there, and that she delivered. Here is the all-around battle that's going on tonight. There are actually 6 athletes, 4 from Florida and 2 from LSU, doing the all-around, and you can see right now currently Leanne Wong has the lead. Florida using 4 all-around competitors, meaning they compete in all 4 events tonight. LSU using 2. Victoria Wynn.
Victoria's beautiful on floor with her choreography. So elegant in every element she does. Opens up. Handspring, front double twist into her Sassone.
Interesting contrast to the routines we saw from LSU, which are really big high flying, and she gets her value points from her grace, her elegance.
Just beautiful extension in all of her leaps from her toe point all the way to her fingertips. It's just one fluid movement.
I guess the point I'm making, there's not just one way to get to a perfect 10 start value. She herself has had 4 times this year 9.9 plus with her style of gymnastics on floor.
round off. 1.5 to lay out, finds that landing. Talking about finding the landing. So crucial in every moment. Ends with that gator chomp, but such a beautiful athlete on floor exercise. Very nice start for Florida.
Every meet at the O-Dome this year has been sold out, over 9,000. Women's college gymnastics getting more and more popular week in and week out. And a lot of the parity in NCAA gymnastics has really contributed to that, because there are so many good teams, and every night you're guaranteed to get a real competitive battle as we have here.
Absolutely. Nothing makes me happier than the exposure that women's athletics is getting right now on all sport teams. And slight balance check for Annie Beard coming after Sierra Ballard's 9.825.
Beard is a sophomore from Alexandria, Louisiana. Out of the lineup last week on this event, but Sierra Ballard had a solid 9.825 to start them off, but expect Florida pouring it on the floor.
LSU headed into this final rotation with a slight lead over Florida. Balance beam being a very tricky, you saw that slight balance break. She didn't fall or wobble, but you saw those shoulders drop forward.
What kind of deduction would that be typically?
Very minor. These are very minor deductions, but unfortunately those minor deductions, they add up. But a nice finish for Annie Beard.
Sunday afternoon, there's a big women's basketball matchup with Elizabeth Kitley, number 8, Virginia Tech, hosting North Carolina at 2 Eastern on the ACC network. The College Game Day crew tips off our coverage from Blacksburg at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Back to floor now. Anya Pilgrim having a terrific meet in the all-around. She has a 9.975 to her credit on the beam. LSU has the lead by 0.15, but it is in jeopardy if Florida can continue to hit, because Victoria Wynn led them off with a 9.925.
That is a huge score, and Anya capable of putting up a big one here. Starts off with the front through to double top. Finds that landing. She makes her gymnastics just look so easy. It makes me think that I could get out there and do it, which...
Really?
We all know that's not gonna happen. Very nice leaps there, showcasing again the full extension in that 180-degree position. And those judges letting them know. I got one more pass in me. Round off back handspring, double pike. Had those shoulders a little far back. You saw she had to hold onto those legs just a little longer than usual, but outstanding performance for freshman Anya Pilgrim.
Finishing, of course, the traditional gator chomp that every athlete has choreographed into their floor routine. What do you think of her tumbling?
I love it, the combination there. But one thing I love even more, the extension in her leaps, finding that 180-degree angle. And then right here, you saw those shoulders go back just a little bit farther than they needed to, but she has such good air awareness. She knew exactly where she needed to end up to keep in bounds and get that lunge.
Connor McLean, we've seen her perfect on beam this year with a perfect 10. She's coming after Annie Beard, had a 9.675. So this is extremely critical for LSU now, because Florida is hitting lights out on floor. LSU had the lead coming into this rotation, but they have a 9.675 that they'd like to replace. Connor can do it.
Connor can absolutely do it. This entire beam lineup for LSU is so strong. Connor McClain has a bag of tricks with the amount of elements she can compete. Front aerial to back handspring there, just very smooth.
Oh, beautiful. It's a skill called a wolf jump that's probably one of the best in the world.
Textbook. That was a textbook jump. And one thing Jay Clark mentioned about Connor was, in terms of physical talent, there aren't many like her. And that is just such a testimony to her and her talent. Side aerial there, just right over the top. Gainer full off, gets the stick, fights for that stick, coming after Annie Beards. Bart, you mentioned with that 9.675, Connor's job is to get the beam team back on track. They're gonna look to drop that 9.675, but right here, wow.
Beautiful.
My leaps never looked like that. That is over the 180-degree angle, and this wolf jump here, I mean, it's incredible. The toe point, the execution, she just takes it to the next level. And Jay Clark doesn't even have to ask her. That's just how she does gymnastics.
They call her Red. This is Kaylee Bluffstone, the freshman. Once again, a very young team here for Florida. Almost half their lineup from underclass women, and they right now have the lead over the #2 team in the country, LSU.
Wow, opens with a huge tuck pull in. Kaylee, she had a 9.875 last week. She is so fun, and I believe the term Jenny Rowland used was she's very fiery.
2.925 so far for the Gators.
Just so fun to watch. Such a performer out there. Just has fun. In her Florentine. Next pass. Front full to front full. Slight stumble there. You saw that front foot come off the ground. Really nice job. Just a fun performance to watch. She does big gymnastics, but she gets the crowd involved with her dance. Just a really fun athlete. And Bart, we talked about very young team, but they perform like they've been doing it for years.
Kaylee Bluffstone, this is just her second time in the lineup for the Florida Gators in one of the most pressure-packed regular season meets that they will have. Back to the beam now. Remember, 9.95 was the score for Connor McClain, and just before this is Kaya Johnson. So the score they're hoping to replace is that 9.675. It puts enormous pressure on the final three competitors, and they are typically spectacular.
Kaya, that first element, the required full turn. Acro series handspring layout step out. Slight balance check. You saw those arms do the full circle. But one thing Kaya does not shy away from is the amplitude on balance beam. Gets the height.
Amplitude basically refers to bigness, and that is the brand of LSU gymnastics. It's high flying, high difficulty.
Big moment for Kaya. This is a round off double twist. Beautiful job. A slight shuffle on that landing, but overall, the one thing that Kaya does so well is even when she has the balance checks, she recovers so well. Almost tries to be incognito with those balance checks, turn them into dance movements, and that is just experience talking.
Getting a congratulations there from Ashley Natt, who helps coach the Beam team along with Jay Clark there. Ashley herself, a many-time All-American at LSU. Sloan Blakely coming up now on floor for Florida. Kaylee Bluffstone had a 9.875. That's their first score below 9.9 for the home Gators in his final rotation.
Sloan opening up front through to double tuck. Nice finish there. Adrienne Berde, part of the coaching staff at the University of Florida, said, I really want this floor rotation to just be big. I want them to have fun, but remember the talent that they have.
We talked about one of the goals for Florida here at this point in the season is to break through to that 198, which is a 9.9 average. Technically, that's possible tonight, depending on these last couple of performances. Would it be enough to hold off LSU?
Sloan, 1.5 to front full. Outstanding job. You saw the fist pump from Adrienne Berde. He likes it. Really nice job for Sloan.
He had a 9.9 tonight, 9.85 and a 9.875 in her effort in the all-around expected good score there.
And this first pass, it's a front tuck to step out, round out back handspring, double tuck. She finds that landing in this last pass. Combination 1.5 to front full. She knows she's got it. Head coach Jenny Rowland giving her a hug and congratulations because that was outstanding for
Haley
Sloan
Bryant,
Blakely.
you see her beam average, like all of her events, is over 9.9. She's coming after Kaya Johnson. Had a little wobble there and a minor bobble on the landing, got a 9.825.
Front aerial to back handspring.
You hear the crowd in the background. The home crowd was hoping for a big score for Sloan Blakely. One judge did come through with a 10, the other a 9.95, therefore 9.975 average. What does it do to your mentality when you're competing and yet you hear the crowd cheering over a score for someone else?
You just focus in on your gymnastics. And I know Haley, she is such a performer, a veteran on this LSU team. She is so unfazed, truly, by the crowd. And that is experience and that is mental toughness that you can't teach. That's just experience talking. Haley Bryant, she is a rock star for this LSU team. Finishing.
Wow.
Wow, that was a front 1.5 twist. I didn't see a lot of deductions in that beam routine, but I'm just going to say it was great. I won't say what I think it should be. Right there, front aerial to back handspring. But right here, this is a front 1.5 twist, finds that landing, holds that landing, and gets the stick.
I mentioned that she has scored the magic gym slam with 10 tens on every event in her career. By the way, my colleague here, Bridget, you did that, the gym slam. 8 perfect 10s in your career. Uh-oh. Peyton Richards, apparently they queued up the wrong piece of music, but people are still reacting to the 9.975 for Sloan Blakely. So just under a 10 for her. Peyton Richards and Leanne Wong, the final 2 competitors for the home team.
And Peyton, she's got a big first pass here. Watch her in warm-ups. Double layout, nails the landing.
5th-year senior. Oh. Oh, my. Oh. Crowd doesn't quite know how to react, but now that she's being carried off the floor by Owen Field, the assistant coach at Florida, 9,000 people on their feet in appreciation for this amazing career of Peyton Richards.
She opened up here. This is a double layout. And just didn't like that landing. Not what you ever want to see in an athlete in any sport across the board.
So unexpected turn of events here for sure, as we go back to the final competitor for LSU on the beam. This is Aaliyah Finnegan coming after Haley Bryant had another 9-9 for them, 9-9-5 for them. Bryant's every score for her tonight was 9-9-2-5 and above. Ooh.
Big bobble there. You saw that front foot came way off the beam. Very difficult series. That was a handspring layout, step out, layout, step out. Aaliyah Finnegan, outstanding on balance beam. Capable of putting up a very big score for this LSU team. Right here, front aerial, slight balance check there, just a little off, just off center a little bit. You saw that arm do a full circle.
LSU hoping to replace the 9-6-7-5, all their scores above that. And a little hop on the landing, so this is going to be extremely close. Aaliyah Finnegan
right here, this was
slightly
a
off.
Big balance check right here. Handspring layout, step out, layout, step out. You saw that front foot come way off in swing. And this is a great angle. Strong toes there. You saw her gripping the beam. Did not fall, so there is that 5-10 deduction for a fall. No 5-10 deduction there, but some big balance checks in that beam routine.
There's been a huge hush over this building in reaction to the 2.0, which was the score for Peyton Richards after that single tumbling pass. So now the crowd is quickly trying to calculate what's going on here, because obviously they're not going to count the 2.0, but Leanne Wong in position here to perhaps win this with a 9-8-2-5 or better for the home team. Talk about a clutch performance. Whatever she gets will replace the 2.0 for that unfortunate injury.
And last week, Leanne had a 9-9-5. Opens with a huge double layout there.
While she's performing, the score in for Aaliyah Finnegan for LSU on beam was a 9-8. So LSU's final score, 197.95, just under that 198, but yet their best road score this season. Remember, a 9-8-2-5 will clinch this for Florida. A 9-9 will clinch the all-around. And a 9-8-5 will allow Florida to earn their first 198 of the season.
Wow. Leanne Wong delivering when it counts.
Oh, what a moment for this young lady. And what a heartbreaking moment for her teammate, but it did not faze Leanne Wong.
Opens with that huge double layout, finds her landing. She is so good at that. And that combination pass, I mean, coming after an athlete, a teammate that goes down. Very mentally tough, but no problem for Leanne and that coaching staff over there. They are excited.
There's a great relief with Jenny Rowland. And they're looking for the two judges. It was 10s from both judges. So Wong's first career 10 on floor. 5 times she has had 9.975. What a way to finish one here in Gainesville. 198.15 for Florida over LSU, the best matchup of the week in the SEC. For our entire crew and Bridget Sloan, I'm Barr Connor. Thanks for watching. What a great, thrilling way to finish tonight.